So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening to this. This is Matchabili alongside the one and only Randerson Beckett,
Hello, people.
and of course, Sando's own Doe Boi.
Good day, good day.
And this is another episode of Retrospect Reviews. And today, we will be celebrating the 20th anniversary of arguably one of the most memorable albums of the 2000s. Of course, I'm talking about Clipse's Lord Willin by. Yes,
Yeah.
so this album was literally released 20 years ago on August the 20th of 2002, right? So look at that, right? And yeah, I mean, we just gonna do like a track by track, run through of that album, right? But before that, as we normally do, we have to talk about our individual histories with Clipse, right? So for those who don't know, or for those who are in the know, right? Clipse is a hip hop duo, hailing from Virginia, Virginia Beach, sorry, Virginia, right?
Still
we
correct.
Sorry.
You're still correct, Virginia Beach.
Yeah, Virginia
Still
Beach,
kinda
right? Well,
correct.
right. We have Gene Thornton, aka Malice. He now goes by No Malice, and we have
No, he
Terrace.
going back by Malice now.
I
Yeah.
know. I'll get to that with the end of my preamble, right? And then we have Terrence Thornton, aka Pusha T, aka King Push, right? So we have to talk
Formerly
about
known as Terra.
Yes, formerly known as Terror, right? I'll talk about that too. But yeah, man, an artist that we have been pretty much praising for the past 5 years or so, right? So yeah, when it came to Clipse, right, for me, right, my first exposure to them was through this album, right? Or I should say through a particular track which we're gonna talk about called Grindin. This was the debut single from this album, right? And I will never forget Rap City the Basement 2002. I can't say that I saw the premiere of this on 106 and Park. I don't remember when I see premieres, right? But usually when it comes to hip hop videos, I just see that they pretty much show up on Rhapsody on heavy rotation, right? And that was my exposure to this song thread. And of course, it was the beat. It was it was Pharrell Williams and Neptunes, who by the way was just dominating music from the late 90s, or I should say from the early 2000s onward. Boy, them was just dominating the airwaves, right? Whether it's R&B, whether it's hip hop, and even later on into the 2000s. Sorry, they kind of venture into pop as well too, right? So yeah, man, they were just dominant here, boy. But there was something about Grinding, boy. And not just the beat, of course. It was just Malice, No Malice, formerly known as, right? And Pusher, boy, what they brought to the table there, boy. It was grimy, it was drug talk, but at the same time, it was just so infectiously cocky, boy, that when the hook come in, you can't help but just say grinding. You know what I mean? You just wanted to be like them, but in your own particular legal way, right? That's how I say it, right? And then from there, again, thanks to Rhapsody, I would see, when the last time, the music videos, I would see My I Don't Love Her, I would see Hot Damn, not to be confused with Cut Damn, right? But you'll talk about Cut Damn in a bit, right? But the TV version, of course, was Hot Damn, right? I'll talk about that, right? And yeah, from that moment though, I was like, yeah, I real rock it with Clipse now. The funny thing is, right, I didn't even get into this album till about a couple years afterwards, which is weird. I'm not sure what happened, but I just kind of got into it a couple years afterwards, right? And then it's all right, well, when the next album coming out, right? And then 2006, Hell Had No Fury dropped, right? And I think for me, right, I don't think that I heard any of the two singles on radio. I saw these. Well, I saw. There's actually one particular song that had a video for it. That'll be Mr. Me Too, right? Still one of my all-time favorites. It was a Clipse. I have this up here as top 5, boy. One of the best Clipse songs, one of the best Neptune songs.
On the album?
No, I know there's the other one, Wamp Wamp, what they do with Slim Tug, but I never saw a music video for it. That's what I'm saying. I only saw the one with Mr. Me Too.
That video for that.
Okay, I never saw that in Rhapsody, dog. I only saw Me Too. That's all I saw. That's weird though, but yeah, I mean, if there's a video fit, cool, right? But yeah, because it was real pushing Mr. Me Too a lot now, but it was just that beat though, and
that beat, the beat was, wow.
It was nasty, way, yeah, way. And it's just how both Malice and Pusha flew on that way. Whew, I love that, right? And yeah, well, you like just like with Lord Willin, I took a while to jump into the Hell Hat No Fury, right? And we can make the argument one time that Hell Hat No Fury is the superior of the two. Like I had both albums up there, right? But yeah, Hell Hat No Fury was just a great sequel in every sense the word, by but really I think what really make it work though was the production, by like Neptune's production this way. They just like I don't know, like it's just like they kind of figured, all right, we know what these guys are about, so we just gonna give them some of the hardest beats we could come up with, right? And it's funny too, like I found this out through Genius. I don't know if this is true or not, right? But apparently the beats that the Neptunes make for this, so I should say Pharrell, right? Apparently he was planning to give Jeezy that for Kingdom Come though.
Which one?
For Hell Out No Fury.
No, that album was 4 years in the making, and so it was just
okay.
Well,
okay, so some tracks,
it have
some beats were
it have
for
some tracks that he tell them watch, do something more against Jay-Z the shit.
Yeah, because I think the same with the grinding beat. Jay-Z was going to get the grinding beat, and Pharrell had to call push on them to come and collect the beat like as quick as possible. Otherwise, he gonna give it to Jay-Z. That's how Clipse end up with the grinding beat, which has become one of the most classic beats to date.
Yeah, it's funny that Jay-Z never bothered to do like a simple remix. Remix on that beat though. It's kind of weird. I don't know why he didn't do that in retrospect, right? But
I think it's because he got a lot of good beats from Pharrell. Yeah, because like remember from since like Give It to Me.
Yes.
Like, coming down the line to front and all them years back and going on. Like Jay-Z and Pharrell.
Okay, like 2002, Jay-Z could be working on the Black album. He get a law and things, so he really didn't care what I care.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah. I mean, we could, like I said, we could make the argument that Hell Out No Fury is the best Clipse album thus far, right? But that's not to say that Lord Willin isn't right up there as well, right? Then we have up in 2009 we got Till the Casket Drops, right? And here's the thing, right? Like this was one that I took a real long while to jump into. But what I would say, that's just to get the positives out of the way. I think that Clipse did their thing. They did their thing on this, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna knock any. I'm not gonna knock them for their performances on this, right? But
it was that album was Malice graciously bowing out. Right?
Yes.
I need time away from this shit.
Mm.
I need out. And oh, you gotta watch your album. You can't watch your album. Like, yeah, they Clipse, prime Clipse, anything. I just Malice bowing out.
Yeah, and even Pusha and all to end up disowning the album, Jelly. Like, he don't like it. And, I actually recap all three of the albums actually, and listening to it again, like, yeah, I can understand it. Now, for one thing, this is the Fenny album. I mean, there's nothing wrong with stepping out your comfort zone, and that's what Clipse do. They step out the comfort zone, they meet with other producers, and they work with them, right? But I don't know. It's just for me, the sound was just way too commercial, boy. And I understand, that's just taking Malice's departure into consideration. All right, they don't want to do the drug thing too much. Like they're still in it, but they kind of want to be a little bit more radio friendly in a sense. So it had tracks like "I'm Good." I actually really like "I'm Good." That song, is very upbeat.
Catchy song.
Nice.
Yeah. Catchy song.
I like Popular Demand, Popeyes. I like that. Even Cameron's verse, who like listen again. I swear this man was like real high when he wrote that shit. Like I don't really fucking care. I just saying, damn, like Uncle Sam, yeah. He was on real shit.
I think he didn't know how to flow. That not Cam type of beat, so he didn't know how to flow on it.
Yeah. Clearly. No, it's laughable, but it kind of fit with the vibe of the song too, right? But yeah, I could see why that album was not well received. It was just too commercial, but it just lacked the griminess of what we expect from Clipse, right? Yeah. So the duo, the brothers themselves, pretty much kind of like just sort of went on their separate ways. Malice became known. Malice, he became a Christian, whatnot. Converted, I should say, officially to Christianity.
He was a Christian. He was a Christian.
All right. Well, he was. He
became a pastor.
A pastor. Thank you. My bad. Right, he became a pastor. Yeah. I know he had a album called Hear Ye Him.
Yeah,
believe
that's actually a good album. That is a good album.
All right, I still need to check that out. I know there was one song that I heard from it, but like I just never got around to checking it out, right?
It
But
have a track with she and Push on it with a I think it's a Capleton sample on it. Fire, eternal fire. Yeah, that track
okay.
hard.
All right. Yeah, but Pusha, no, that is the cat who just pretty much like his career just blew up by, and like I can't really like articulate what does he do, but it's like he just kind of sit down and realize, all right, I understand with till casket drops, we didn't want to paint ourselves into a corner, right? Like, okay, we're just gonna be talking about drugs until we die, right? But like Pusha, as he said, you know what? Here's what, right? Since I know about this lifestyle, right? Because the brothers were involved in it in the past, right? Let me kind of paint myself as like this like legendary figure in that world itself now. So like literally every bar I spit dread is gonna be like the coolest, dopest stuff ever, dread, right? So he just kind of become this new character, dread, and then well that kind of carry across into like this new chapter in his career, right? He would hook up with Kanye West on a few tracks, and then like in 2013 he dropped "My Name Is My Name," which was a big album for me. Not an album that I love, but yeah, the album was hard though. Still for me, Numbers on the Board is still like top 5 best Pusha T songs ever.
But
for
that
that
album,
is the kind of what
that album for Pusha T was treading the water. He was still trying to figure out where he sitting in this game because he was 10 years deep. 3 albums, nobody really manual counted them out because he was with a certain era. So he was still trying to figure out which lane he should be.
Right. Doe Boi.
Yeah.
Alone in Vegas. That was on which project?
I think they My Name Is My Name.
Right. Cause had to be that one. Because I remember when that song, I think that was the first single to drop for that album.
No, let me check and see
Numbers on the Board is the first.
Yeah, Numbers on the Board.
I think I just have like memories of that video for I Ride the Salon in Vegas. I remember that I think the last video that dropped off that album was the Nostalgia with Kendrick.
With Kendrick,
yeah.
But yeah, but just to talk quickly about Numbers on the Board, but still to me that is like the equivalent of like a metal headbanger song. Like I hear this, I just picture myself just banging my head on a wall till it bleeds. Like I'm not saying that's what I do when I hear this song, right? But there's something about that beat.
I think it's the bell, the kind of metal-y sound it has.
Yeah,
a little metal shaking sound.
It's so the beat so unusual and obscure.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's not like a normal loop that a loop. It's sort of like it's something that they're playing backward, a bass line that they're playing backward. And just adding that.
Yeah. But for me, it's that bass line, boy. That bass line is so thick, boy. Like, whew, like I just lose my shit every time I hear this, right? But yeah, pretty much, Pusha T signing to good music, I mean, that just helped him out greatly in his career now. So from there, he had stuff like King Push, Darkest, Before Dawn, the Prelude, which I remember listening to a few times. I was like, it's alright. That's something I jump back into. Rata Keen was pretty solid as well too. But it's when 2018 happened, and then Daytona dropped, that was one of Kanye's. I think it was like four album rollout. Right? Like
Daytona wasn't the spread, boy. The album before that, boy.
King Push.
I think that's all. The one with drug dealers and anonymous and stuff.
Yeah, the Darkest Before Dawn.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that is where they notice. Okay, Pusha is one of the greats.
Right.
MPA, Crutches, Crosses, Caskets.
The track with Beanie Siegel and all, I was like, this dude on Beanie
I need to really see the album.
Right. FIFA with ab-liva.
Yeah. I forgot to mention too, like what he did on Cruel Summer as well too. The Good Music compilation, Mercy, New God Flow, for example, like like literally in the 2010s, boy, Pusha was just carving himself out to be like just one of the greats, man. But yeah, just to talk about Daytona quickly, man. Yeah, I still have this as one of my top 10 favorite albums
Best
of the
album of the year.
2010s.
Best
Yeah, and it
album
was the
that
best album
year.
of 2010, but of 2018. Oops, my bad, right?
Yeah.
It's what, but for me, what make this album work for me, Dread, is how Pusha and Kanye just work together. Like they craft an album that clock in at almost 25 minutes, Dread. There was no fat on this, Dread. None.
Yeah.
Everything had to be tight, Dread. And it was just like boom, 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 boom. The one gripe I have with this album, though, is that we did not get more of that Surgical Summer. I wanted to hear more of that, but I loved that freestyle that he did against Drake, but that diss track story. I was like, yes, I want to hear more of it during the summer. Then, well, we did take it. All right, well, Scorpion coming out from Drake, and then, well, Scorpion came out. He said one thing and a song. I think I'm upset, I think it was, and that was it. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daytona was fantastic. To absolutely love it, right? And I'll close things off now with It's Almost Dry, right? Which
Real album of the year. Real album of 2022.
I have it up there as a top 5, not as number 1 as yet.
That is the best album of the year. Game talking all that bullshit about Drillmatic. This is the real best album of the year right now. It has
at least it's not 2 hours. It's not 2 hours of music. It's 25, bro. You know. But yeah, let's talk quickly about.
I'll save my comments on that dramatic for next something else.
For next something else.
Yeah.
Right. But
no,
yeah.
I just say it because Game saying that how he had the album of the year. Nah, bro.
Everybody who drop will say they have album of the year. Everybody who drop will say they have album of the year.
Because his album is long, is long that earns it. That right? No, come on.
He has the same amount of tracks as NBA Youngboy. So NBA Youngboy has album of the year. If Game could say that, Youngboy could say that too. You know, well, strong. Kevin Gates could say that too. Well, strong.
You know, the longer the better.
Asian Doll drop. She could get too. That's your album was hard.
Right. See what you did there. But yeah, man. For me, the moment that Diet Coke dropped, boy, which by the way is my fellow critic in crime, Ricardo Medina's like one of his favorite songs of the year. Yeah, it was just Push and Kanye just linking back up again, man. I love that track, right?
That track is perfect, but that didn't seal the deal with me on that album. I see Neck and Wrist. That was the seal album.
Yeah. And that was pretty much him. Yes. Like I said in my review of it, it have this like real sleazy vibe to it, like real ET sleaze, like that.
That chorus when I bumped that place, I was like, yo, this song is so perfect. I play that like for the whole day. That'll still pop up in my recommended on YouTube.
I remember when you shared that on Facebook, boy. But I won't lie, it took a while for me to get it. But when it clicked, I was like, all right, I get it. And it plays on radio right now, so would. You know what I mean? I love it, right? And well, I was about to say, it was Pharrell more or less linking back up with Pusha here, Pusha on this album, right? And yeah, I mean, but what would just say this
Kanye,
him and Kanye, right? Yeah, so that's kind of just doing like a quick review, more or less kind of taking a point that I made with my initial review of it, right? Well, like it's Almost Dry.
And forget one thing about Almost Dry, the return of Malice.
Yeah,
the return of Malice.
You spoiled the surprise. I want to end off with that, right? That's all. Yeah. So essentially, it's What I like about It's Almost Dry is that you see like how Daytona was like real lean. There was no room for error. Here's like Pusha could just kind of kick back, relax, and let loose a little bit. It's kind of like when he's on that couch with Kanye on the Diet Coke music video. That's him on his album. He kind of stretch himself. He could kind of stretch he legs out a little bit. Try something a little bit new. You know what I mean? Like he not. He not aiming for a certain time. Like he just crafting bangers. That's it. He just crafting gems. That's all it is, right? We could kind of let loose a little bit more. Okay, you have more time to work.
Yeah, I only do. Just forging, ponging and that iron and forging shit.
That's right. And just to close things off now. But for me, one of the big highlights of this album, of course, is I Pray For You, which features Malice, right? Him returning as Malice Dread. I want to send him a review here. I'll repeat it here, right? What Kanye spend an hour and 45 minutes into 2 hours trying to do on Donda, which is kind of talking about, the conflict between, hey, I have 1 foot in the church, 1 foot in the streets. Malice cover all that in one verse on this track. One verse. And it is still, in my opinion, one of the best verses of 2022.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yes.
And my wish right now is Kanye and Pharrell sit Malice down and then put out a solo album.
Thank you. That's the same thing that Ricardo has always been saying. Right? Like, how long Kanye and Malice should be working together, should put out an album. Like, just do that, right? But I'll close with this, right? Like, for me, what I love about that track, though, is that it kind of just let the world know, like Clipse could come back, And I would say this right off the bat, I am ready. I am definitely ready. I don't know if it will happen, but I think it should. But it's Pusher, right? So they had to take the time with it, they had to craft it, they had to make it sound and look good. They had to make it sound good and whatnot, right? But yeah, I am down for
one more time.
Like one more hurrah, boy. Do that.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And that's all. Sorry.
I was going to say before you transition, because what I am going to say is also a transition.
Right.
Well, I was listening to Almost Dry. Almost Dry has a lot of callbacks to this Lord Willin album.
Okay. Really, well, I hope you will mention them in the track by track review, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll get on to it.
Right. Well, yeah, Randerson, take it away, man. Your history with Lord Willin, Clipse, and where they are right now, and of course you can answer the question if you see a new Clipse album coming on your horizon.
Well, I pray if you give me hope, so I will pray that it happens. I will pray that Clipse album really manifests into something. But my issue with Lord Willin is mostly through being very young now. In the early stages of secondary school, and I used to be traveling in Big Maxi. So, the Big Maxis have the bootleg mix CDs and whatnot. And that, I think, because I used to be watching BT, I was hearing, the censored version of most of the songs, like Grindin and, So when I, start traveling Maxis and I start, hearing, and this is at an age where I'm not really fully able to grasp lyrics, but I could just see how good something sounds sonically, and that was Grinding for me. How that beat, the whole kind of lunchroom kind of make a rhythm on the table and start freestyling. That's what that sounded like. And the thing is, Clipse at that time, because I was so accustomed to Pharrell production, because that time Pharrell was working a lot with Jay-Z and whatnot, so you've been hearing them a lot. So you get accustomed to when you hear Neptune's production, it's grasping very quickly. Because I think during that time Pharrell was also producing for Gwen Stefani and whatnot.
Yes.
But yeah, so when I started hearing Clipse for the first time, they were just sounding cool. It just sounded cool to listen to. And I think there was during that time where New York rap was still, heavy in rotation over here, but something about Clipse, I just gravitate how unusual the beats used to stand out, how unusual the beats were compared to everything else I was playing that time, and how cool these guys sounded together. That's why Clipse today will still go on as a legendary rap duo. Even though Pusha T has been able to carve a lane for himself, as a duo, Clipse so great. Clipse made me like a Justin Timberlake song, just because they were on it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
I'd love that verse, because I remember hearing Justin Timberlake and Pusha T and Malice, yo, and I really like that song. I'm like, I love you. I think that's was that Timbo production? Yeah, I think that was Timbo.
Neptune production.
Neptune production as well. See, yeah. So, right, and the most of Lord Willin tracks as you can see, Hot Damn, because I heard the like TV version first. Yeah, a lot of those songs like are still memorable, and this most nearly all of these songs still hold up today. Like a lot of these verses still come out today and could sound brand new, because that's how like timeless most of the like songs on this project is to me.
Right, right. So anything quickly you want to talk about with Pusha T's career right now?
Oh, um, okay. After the third album you all brought up, I never actually listened to that one. I listened to Lord Willin, the second one, but the third I did not. I don't think I picked up that one.
Okay. Till the
So
casket drops, right, right.
the casket drops. Yeah. So I have no fury and I think I listened to a couple of the Pusha T mixtapes in between. But when I remember when My Name Is My Name dropped, because I like numbers on the board. I like how everything was sounding for that album. And I think this was during the time Pusha T sang with Good Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been following say from since the album I've been following Pusha T's career, because as someone who has a very, I could say, small pool of topics to pull from, he does a lot with the little he has to work with. All he has to do is like sound cool, saying whatever. And another thing, I'll say, I don't know if he still does it now, but going back and listening to some of his stuff, I like picking up Pusha T has this whole internal rhyme stuff he's do that most of the time he doesn't end his rhymes. Like he might go at AB then at AC. Uh, and a lot of the stuff that make it sound cool is a lot of the internal rhymes he does. And like I think you could say at the start of his career on Clipse, you could hear where he starts doing that. So now when he does it, like it sounds so cool and casual, like you wouldn't really notice it unless you're trying to like break down everything he's doing on a technical level. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Pusha T until we start talking track by track.
All right. Last but not least, Doe Boi, your history with Lord Willing, Clipse, and to extent Pusha T.
Well, I heard Lord Willin. Well, the first thing that I heard from Clipse was Grindin, and that was on them bootleg mix CDs and them pirates that used to be selling on the streets. I used to be buying them mixtapes them. So
those were the days, boy.
yeah. So I bumping the time like paying attention to the words, but the beat as well used to catch you. So you hear the guy in the beat and sing, and I like, okay, who's this? And then the dumbass pirate them put Eclipse now. So I like, who the hell is Eclipse?
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. That was like real people in the earlys when they get grinded, it was just Eclipse now. So like, who the hell is Eclipse? So start watching BT now, and the video come out, and I'm like, oh, Eclipse. Them talk about Eclipse, I like.
Well,
I'm feeling dumb. I'm feeling dumb because
you try to look it up. You look.
Yeah, I try to look for people that thinking the name of Eclipse and Eclipse. So like, okay, Eclipse, So, going into Form 5 now. We one of my homie, Shelter Sheldon, he ended up flying out and bringing back some CDs them, and the CDs them that he bring back was Lord Willin, Nellyville, and Stillmatic. So me with my collection, we traded now. So I let him come home with me for the Clipse album, and this is the whole album. Bang bang, and like actually realized like, yo, these dudes are real hard. And me and he will just have an inside joke with the Virginia track. We will be quoting lines from the Virginia track to each other, because we thought that that was the coolest track on the whole album. while we was at that age, we thought that was the coolest track on the album. I'm from Virginia, but ain't shit to do but cook. Yeah, so we thought that was the coolest
I
track.
love that beat. I love
I
that
know
beat, you know.
that beat real hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it uber grimy. So again, that how I get into them thing, I end up buying the album. Then moving on, Lord Willin come out that time. I'm done with school. I'm in the studio, Mike and them. So I buy the album. I'm going on the studio with Mike and them. I'm like, yo, we gotta listen to shit. No tracks ain't recording today. We gotta listen clips today. Listen to clips. And we end up buying some beers and we listen to the album throughout. Professor ripped the album one time, fresh out the seal. He done sat with piracy. Teeth in the album. So, vibe out to the album. We like Mike yo, this real hard. He think like this the best album. I'm like, don't get doing 2 albums. He like, nah, but it's still the hardest album. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. I didn't see it at that time. How hard the album was, and it's basically the best album. But then a few more years, I think they 2007, I ended up getting hold of the first album that they dropped that never released.
Right, that's exclusive audio footage. Funny thing is, I only listened to that like a few days ago, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where it all started from. And Push-Up he going by the name Terra.
Terra,
like
Terra, that time. And I got that. I listened to it, and I'm like, yo, these dudes are almost bad from since these days. But there was a little rough around the edges, but it was nasty with it still though. And then when the cassette drops come out, and the album was good, but I don't want to say bad or anything, but you can see both of them heart wasn't in it. Malice heart wasn't in it, and like Push was feeding off of your brother energy. So the album wasn't. It was good, but it wasn't what we know they could do. And well, Malice turned to a man of the cloth. Make he well, I don't want to say gospel. Gospel does sound like church thing that you're supposed to be singing. He
made a Christian hip hop album.
Yeah, he made a Christian rap album, and it's a cool album. Or you should check that out. It's a cool album. And then Pusha was on the mixtape scale, and just bubbling, you know, it Pusha. And then the good music compilation come out and Pusha spazzing on it. Like, all right, Pusha starting back to make noise, thing like he finding footed. And then the albums, the Pusha T albums that just continue getting better and better and better. So again, I'll skip the first set because I like them, but they ain't my holy trinity. The last 3, those are the ones. Those are the ones.
I hold them all for.
Yeah,
Right.
King Push. Yeah, King Push make me realize that how Pusha up there. For anybody to be holding the own with Jay-Z and not getting smoke, you had to be. You had to have that level of greatness in you now. Because Jay-Z could take over a whole track and you just song like Ass Senator.
Yep.
And it don't matter if he's the man or what that. Bleak learned that the hard way. Bleak never smoked Jay-Z on that track. Or he always sung like he getting smoked. Push at least sung like he could holding his own with him. So again, and the people them that he had on the album, Beanie Siegel, ab-liva, he bring back he from the re-up gang days. Raekwon. The album was good. Then Daytona. Some tracks are just perfectness. And again, Almost Dry. Almost Dry is the best album for the year. I will say it again. Best album of the year.
It's just order, but it's up there for me. It's
too much slappers on that, but too much slappers. When I hear Brampton, like that beat alone from Brampton does slap.
Call My Bluff was my favorite song on it, and then like I Pray For You take it over.
I Pray For You is up in my top 3. I get it. Neck and Wrist, Brampton, I'll Pray For You. And again, Malice surprised all of us with the verse that he spit. I wasn't expecting that from Malice. I thought he would be Christ-like, but no, he brings that vengeance. He brings that vengeance.
Doe Boi.
Yeah.
You can ask Mike Wise. I was in Republic with Tian Barry, and I was like, dog, Junior Lama come back. Tell me why I missed. You say, just an emotional get. How you? Do you look at my sister? I'm talking about that verse. I keep like my first one child.
Just trying to milk a game that's only 2%. I'm like, yo, this man is on it. Kanye and Pharrell needs to pull him in that album.
I greet you with the love of God. That don't make me any friends.
Yeah,
like whisper my brother, bury all of them.
And I will say, if Drake had a verse, he happy that how he didn't have to deal with Clipse and only Pusha T. If he had to deal with both of them, he gonna be uber scared.
Yeah. The man say he turned back into Miles for a reason, just to put out that verse.
Yes, yeah.
But that is my history with Clipse, Pusha T, and Malice.
All right. So let's not waste any time now. Let's jump into the album proper, right? So I'll just pretty much just kind of run through I'll just do it like by trees, right? So first tree, then next tree, then so on and so forth, right? So we kick things off with intro, right? And right out the gate do Pusha T and Malice. For the sake of this review, we're gonna call it Malice, right? They pretty much let listeners know where their minds are at right now. They've grown since exclusive audio footage, right? Neptunes comes through with like a pretty like minimalist beat though, like by their standards. But it works in the sense that Pusha and Malice's bars are like right at the forefront, right? And Clipse pretty much talking about the attraction to the drug game. Pusha, for example, he talks about how with his fascination with Miami Vice as a kid. It's kind of funny because in Hell At No Fury there's a particular song, I forget what it was, where it starts off with saying Miami Vice. He kind of says the name 3 times, right? They talk about how they eventually got into the drug game, sorry. Malice actually says on this verse, right? He says, Scout's honor started with my grandmama who distributed she had flown in from the Bahamas. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah. And it's funny too because in Hell At No Fury there's a certain song, I think it's the same one with the Miami Vice thing, where he pretty much say how his grandmother make him out like, no, we called my name out on the album. I roll off on the head. I was like, shit. What? That was crazy. And it pretty much relates to their mission towards greatness in the rap game, right? So yeah, this was a solid opener there. And what I love too, like when we kind of identify intros in rap albums or some kind of skit or whatever, it's like nah, let's drop a beat and we jump in right into it. So I love this intro, right? Up next we have Young Boy, and for me, like aesthetically, it kind of sounds like a sort of a New Orleans style version of the production that you seen cut down, right? Like with the horns, for example, how boisterous they sound to Pharrell's melodic vocals and catchy phrases. In this case, talk about the lad, right? But you could talk about Pharrell singing and falsettos and all that kind of stuff. I think the man could sing Dread from early on. Although he had to kind of build that confidence. So, when time for fronting came in, it's like, yeah, I could sing it. Like, this is how I sound. I'm sorry, this is how I sound, right? But anyway, as the title suggests, Pusha and Malice, well, more Pusha than Malice actually, point out moments in their childhood where they were exposed to the dope game and they learn about how beneficial it is, right, financially, right? Pusha's verses are fantastic on this though. I like how they have like this sharp eye for detail, right? So he's talking about he was 4 years old and he saw his dad slinging crack. He is a moment where he can ironically point the blame at Looney Tunes cartoons now. Like you said to be Sam, right? For his attraction to guns, right? And being one of the first people on his block to rock New Jordans, right? When he was just 15, right? But just one tiny gripe with this track though, is that Malice only have one verse and Pusha get three. So but in Malice's verse, though, he talks about, well, his grandmother, right? And how she spoiled her grandkids with the money she acquired from selling drugs, right? So no wonder she make him out on the next album, right? Whatever. But the stories make sense. And it kind of just show, like, yeah, just how alluring the idea of making money by any means is, right? So, and how that can mean, what that can mean for, yeah, like a kid just growing up, seeing people your age or people older than you, rocking New Jordans or driving fancy cars, right? So you can't blame them for wanting to get involved with that, right? So yeah, dope track. But and shout out to Pharrell for adding that kind of New Orleans touch to the song as well, too, right? And up next we have Virginia, right, which is I call this the official hustler anthem for Virginia, right? That's it, right? But expand on this, right? I was actually exposed to this track for the first time. It's kind of funny how I heard this song, because it was at the end of the music video for When the Last Time. So like there's this moment where they just hear the hook fit, right? And I see Pusha and Malice and some other guys dressed in white. They have like these RIP shampoo shirts on them. Yeah, Shampoo was like the former manager, and yeah, he get killed in a drug deal, right? And I just always thought it was weird to end a club song with a song like that. It's like, all right, it's still weird. It's still weird how they end that song, but whatever, right? But that was my exposure to Virginia, right? But the beat for this though is so cold and grimy, and it just fits the tone of the track perfectly. But Push and Malice come through. Each have a stellar verse, each about the dark, violent side of Virginia and the drug scene associated with it. Right. The hook stays with you. That I'm from Virginia, where ain't shit to do but cook. Pack it up, sell a triple price, fuck the books. Like that. Like that stays with you. Yeah, sing it. Sing it.
And then we relocate the off them books. I'm from Virginia, but ain't shit to do but cook. Sell it up, sell a triple price. Fuck the books.
Yeah, that hook stays with you, boy. My God, right? So standout moments for me in this track though is where Push, he does his RIP shout out to Shampoo, right? And then he talks about how Virginia hustlers apparently view the OJ trial, right? And then the car chase and stuff like that. So he says, in Virginia, we smirked at that Simpson trial. Yeah, I guess the chase was wild, but what's the fuss about? See, plenty of my partners feel like OJ. Beat murder like that shit is okay. That's what our Doe say. I thought that was real good. Malice, though, he talks about, certain things related to Star Trek. That's, of course, the, Pharrell's labor, right? That should not be discussed, right? Like how much the Neptunes charge per beat, what Kellis is up to. He says the loud screaming chick with the hair, and even about this album too, and when it was coming out, Dread. So in short, grimy, screw your face, nod your head in unison to Clipse song, and yeah, easily one of the best songs on this album, bar none, man. So yeah, Randerson, your thoughts on intro, Young Boy, and Virginia.
Mine is gonna be really short because it covered a lot of stuff that Azan mentioned, especially like on the intro, the beat at the beginning, like how this start off, like how you mentioned how simplistic the beat is. I think like going into this is like how Push opened up in this, and there's another thing, like this is like all what I was talking about before, like the lyrics. Now they could spit the same lyrics now, and if we didn't know, like this is from their first album, it will sound brand new because even today, as I was re-listening to this album, most of these verses did not age at all. They still have the old pristine and impact. So like if you're hearing it for the first time, there's nothing on this sounds outdated. even the beat, keeping the beats like so simplistic, but yet having like this kind of like no memorable kind of bass line, um, makes like the whole track and as an intro, like it works perfectly. Um, I, I don't think I have really much to say about funny rapping because it's Pusha T and Malice because it it's hard to say like, anybody has a bad verse. Like I say, I could the um or like yeah, nobody has a bad verse on this. Everybody came out solid and as the first track, I hearing Pusha T coming first, being all like was smooth and cool, and Mars and because Mars has this kind of like I could say a more rougher voice than Push, you, so more threatening bars will come off like you know um more believable coming from Push. Like what I'm going to say, I still feel belittled sitting here spitting riddles amongst clown ass rappers who tend to give me the giggles. Yeah, like at that point in time, like him like being like cool and clowning on you. At the same thing with Push. Push just sounds like cool, like he's just comfortable anywhere he is. Like it gives you this whole feel that going into the album being this as he feels track that you're not going to hear any bad verses from these guys. And with Neptune's on the production and as like I was saying, that being the first song they do, well, first song that's on the project, going in and that's why again, and it only gets better going on, makes like the intro like one of the best intros for our album, arguably of all the Clipse projects. Because I just like enjoy listening to like especially beat first. The next song, Young Boy. Um, I think what I really appreciate was you mentioned kind of New Orleans influence, kind of bouncing at it, and then you had Pharrell singing right next to the sample, and like it sounded like because the that sample I thought it was like Pharrell's voice, but then I remember like, no, it's just the first part you hear the words and then he sample like right after him,
Right,
and
that
like
you are the land, yeah.
yeah, like it just like how it's sweet, like how he mixed it so well. I actually thought the sample was Pharrell until I realized wait no that's a sample. Or the bass guitar riff it as in that the riff that the riff sample they have. The do yeah.
Mm.
Um, well, the topic was just being influenced from coming from a whole family of hustlers. So say as they go and just say like no like we've been in this a while, like we see it all around us, like so like to say like we trying to like put on our front trying to pose like no it's something we naturally came from. So that's why it's so easy for them to like to rap about stuff in detail but still like not giving too much. Yeah. Like it was a next like standout. I'd say a standout track. Not I wouldn't say one of the most memorable as in like of this track because I know when we go later on we'll be able to talk about the hit singles they had. So I'll say as a song that's more closer to the album, I'll say like Young Boy is a great track, have no complaints. Pharrell on the hook, great. Uh the next song, Virginia. Now this I try to remember if I heard somebody try to rap over this beat already. But if somebody freestyled over this beat already. Can't remember for sure. But all I remember was this like was like kinda like it's all kind of cool trap influence. But I think what I remember first seeing it was the way if you could give me in one of the videos had this a short portion of the hook
Yeah,
was
that
on
Yeah,
was
that's when you last
what you
time.
was
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
right.
said. It's kind of weird that they end a club song with this too. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. 'Cause, I remember like the whole like I said this was would make sense. How do you mean like just do it? It sound like I would say like the whole kind of like cinematic view of how they do it. Like you're thinking about I'll say a lot of these movie like Goodfellas or whatnot, how they used to operate, like, in the streets, giving you a kind of like a picturesque kind of description of it. By the same time, then like, oh, like, though, like, you can't really like be in this for just to say you're in it, like we do this for real. And I just remembering I think the I don't is it right re-up because re-up gang mixtape dropped when that was between which project?
That was between Hellhard Has No Fury. No, yeah, they dropped two between them, and then they dropped two more on the lines to the cassette drop.
Right, because it's like as I mentioned earlier about how push like like apparently he's been doing that reference a lot of stuff from older projects, probably because it's thing he actually like very close to, because the whole re-up thing, because I think this is where he got the idea, where they got the idea to like name the next mixtape re-up gang, just for this hook. And yeah, um said solid rapping on this. I wouldn't have any standout tracks until we get like after the hits. I could point to some standout tracks, but in these early, what I'll say is like the rapping on these was great for me. Like I really enjoyed like going back over like a lot of these songs. So I think all I have for now. I'll have a little more input as we get down into more the middle and closer to the end of the album.
All right, all right. Doe Boi, your thoughts on intro, Young Boy, and Virginia.
Players, we ain't the same. I entertain and guns. Yeah, that is how I like my album to start. Out the door, we running into it. The beat a little playful. The beat playful for our intro, but they was getting busy. Dr. Malice saying, I'm I'm so great at the point that I concern I might die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was playing let it know now how much we can spit out here. We out here with the spitters. And in the first project and then I didn't know that how they with the spitters. Um Young Boy, this it the sample kind of get my James Brown feel.
I see what I mean. Yeah, with
Yeah,
the
kind of
bounciness of it. Yeah,
yeah, the pop 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 pop
yeah.
and the way how Pharrell coming across with it with the make a sucker go blam blam. Yeah, you making it sound like yeah. It's like a real James Brownish. In the one of the tracks that I don't remember a lot from, but I like it because of the song. Because the the, the song is so unique, the whole our vibe. But the bars, them I like the bars and whatnot. But it's not one of them tracks them that I'll be like, say, no, like, yeah. They
Right.
heat. It's hot heat to the time, but it's how that heat don't get out with it. Virginia, no, yeah. This is
Yes.
track. Yeah, this is track. But, Pusha verse was basically a shout out to you, homie, Shampoo. The beat was murky, real murky. My favorite line in the whole track is Malice last energy verse like imagine this country the state that we making figures at is the same state that used to hang niggas at and I'm like yo straight to the face
That final line though is so cold, boy. But you feel it, huh? You feel it.
Yeah, that was saying I feel it in your pores. You feel it. Let's get our cool show. Woo! So like the Virginia track is just pure grit, grime, filth. Everything grimy is established in your track. And there's the beat just spooky and that.
Yeah. All right. So up next now, I literally have to dedicate a whole section of this review here to Grindin, right? So this was my official introduction to Clipse. I know it's for many people, right? This is one of these songs I used to look forward to in BET back in the days, or Rap City in 106, right? But yeah, boy, Clipse did their damn thing on this, right? Some may say, and I wholeheartedly agree with them, right? But I think it's Complex said it just the other day, right? Well, some article, best Neptune's beat. They have this as number one.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't blame them at all, Chad, because
I don't argue with that at all.
Nobody
yes,
debates that.
boy, just that that table, style with the drum pattern, that doom 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 doom. Like, I mean, who wasn't ponging, at school when you're singing that song out loud or whatnot? Who wasn't doing that? Right?
They singing, my freestyles I drop in school to that.
Nice.
Freestyles.
Yeah,
Well, time when we come on in the corridor and now men knocking at and it bars. Just spitters coming out and it's spitting wherever you can spit.
And I think for me, it's not just so much the beat itself, it's that and how it is sound. It just sound like it just has this feel to it though. Like it just feel like you're like hydraulics, like something like that. No, that what feels like to me, right?
Fun fact, real producers just kick themselves for not making that, because all the songs on that is presets for the Trident, called Trident keyboard. Them program nothing. Them just put on default
what
things and get them songs them and then make it. Yeah.
Wow, no, I literally thought like Pharrell and Chad just sit on one day. It's like, it'd be cool is if we have a beat that goes like this and they figure out how to do it. Case in point, like with Black Little Moment,
all this, how you program a song, they have it's just default songs.
Like everything that came with it.
Right.
Okay.
Default songs.
Yeah.
They had to lay out the program, but it's just default songs. Nobody hear them songs and I was like, yo, I could make this into this.
All right, not real hard though. Okay. Yeah, but for me, what I love about this track here, right? I mean, it's how Pusha and Malice just approach this beat with so much swag and cockiness. Shit. I like how they just frame themselves as these hood legends in the dope game, right? Like, Pusha comes through with from ghetto to ghetto, backyard to yard, I sell the whip to unwhipped, it's soft for hard, right? Something like that. Like just saying, yeah, you know me, like, dog, my name, like, people know me from all these blocks, Dread. I'm a legend, But
I'm
it's
a
how
legend
Malice
in two
coming.
games like I'm Pee-wee
Kirkland. Yeah. But is Malice's intro I love though. That patty cake. I'm the baker's man. I think these cakes is fast as I can. Dog, that's real. That's cockiness, boy. Like, my
my bread stack up.
Yeah. And it's to the point, like how they frame themselves is almost like, dog, like even the hardest hustler or to like little kids like on the street, they could just watch them and be like, yeah, I want to be like you, right? But they're doing their thing and they just make it seem like it's easy, like it's to them it's like breathing for them, right? You know what I mean? And like that's why the grinding word adds a lot to this song, right? I love that's how simple the hook is. It's just grinding. That's it. That's the mindset they're on. They don't need to explain what they mean by it in the hook. It's just dog is grinding. That's what it is, right? And even the grinding is just like it's just like that that little icing on the cake, basically, right?
Know what I keep in the line.
You know what I mean? It's just easy, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, this should be in anybody's top 5 clip song lists. Even if you don't think it's the best Neptune's beat ever made, though, this should be in your top 5 Neptune's production list, right? So on the subject of that now, we kind of skipping tracks now. Now we have to talk about them remixes, right? So talk about the first one, Grindin remix, right? And if there's one thing I always remember is Pusha's hook that, what's the size of them rims on a car, nigga, huh? Can you see the chain from afar, nigga? Like, I heard that on radio, and I was like, what? Like, you doing remixes now? Okay. But yeah, though.
Was booty uku. That was trash, man.
Wait, the first one, the one with Nori and
Birdman.
Good man, yeah, that was not good. That was not good.
Hear the thing, right? Nori is just being Nori, you know. He just have this energetic way. He just rap like right, you know. He just doing that. Lil Wayne, this is pre the Carter. Lil Wayne, so he do anything. Birdman is that. That's all he doing, right? Pusha kind of do a alternate version of his, like he start off with the first opening lines, but he do something different. But for me, I think Malice Walker with the MVP for this too. I think his verse saved that whole track. His verse was great though, in my opinion, right?
The best remix is the
Selector remix, which I gotta get into, right? But yeah, like Malice verse was fire on this track though. So but here to again, like I remember hearing this version like a few times on radio, right? But it says the Selector remix now. That was the one that radio stations beat to the ground, like, and it makes sense why, because you had dancehall artists. I'll get the Cardinal official, right? But here's the thing, is I always love is like I always remember Sean Paul's like verse in this, right? Because he bringing that whole dirty rock style to this, right? We are the block yo, in the spot yo, the block yo, well, there it is. You know what I mean? And that's how he flowed. That was great in my opinion, right? And remember, I mean, Sean Paul was a big deal back in 2002, right? Because remember his dirty rock album was out. Yeah, and he won a Grammy for that, by the way. You know,
yeah, what now? That album was trash. Don't make it sound like that was hot.
I never listened to it. Like
because it was not for we.
I listened to the Trinity. Like I always stuck to the Trinity, but I never listened to Dirty Rock. You know.
But Matthew, are you a man that go car show and thing? You like cars? No, you wouldn't be into that. You wouldn't be into that. That kind of crowd is who does listen to them thing now.
Wow. All right. Just continue with the Selector remix, right? Bless's verse is cool. Yeah, well, his name is Bless, whatever, right? He have energy in that for sure, right? But for me, I always remember Cardinal Official. Right? This was somebody who I was exposed to him through his Cardinal
Firestarter.
Yeah, the Firestarter album, right? Which is still one of the most underrated albums in my opinion, right? That Quest for Fire Volume 1, that was great too. But yeah, that Bacardi slang, I was a huge fan of that song.
I love that song.
I don't like Bacardi
Old Time Killing. I love Old Time Killing.
I used to sing that.
I like that so much.
You don't like, that's how, Do you don't like Bacardi slang?
Nah.
It's too corny.
It beat the show.
Oh, that picture. Yeah.
Maxine is my track from him.
I remember jumping off my double-decker bed because anytime I hear it on the radio, I used to jump off my double-decker bed, forget the ladder, and just run and turn that radio off when Bacardi song came on. I love that.
Yeah, Maxine was a dope track to Old Time Killing. That was the one that clicked with me, Jed. That was like a perfect marriage, old school dancehall and hip hop, Jed. I mean, but yeah. But back to Cardinal though. I just love how he just bring this dancehall flavored style to this track though. Points for his reference to the Tiger song when he talk about 10 and yen, and then he say see come again. It's like I see you, Cardinal. I see you. But yeah, this Selector remix is a smart. Yeah, we see you. But yeah, the Selector remix is a smart forward.
I see you.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know who come up with the idea of having this version of the remix, but this totally worked though. It's to the point that you don't even hear Pusha or Malice in this. You just hear like ad-libs and whatnot, but just having
they just come out doing the chorus. They just do the chorus and thing. But the best that I hear so far, and this is not my official remix, but the shit is Beanie Man and Buju when they was in the basement and the freestyle over. That was crazy.
I remember that.
Yeah. That was dope. But yeah, like I said, this Selector remix is all over the radio, Dread, and I don't blame them. I mean, Dante was big, like it was blowing up in an insane level in the 2000s. So it makes sense like a track like this would exist, right?
It way better than Nori and them. Way better than that one.
Like a story, Dread. Everybody else could have come with the A game, but Clipse do their thing. But really, Malice walk with that MVP for that verse, in my opinion. And yeah, that ends my section of grinding, right? So, Doe Boi, thoughts on Grindin and anything else you have to say about these two remixes that show up in the album?
Grindin was the opening. A lot of things, man. A lot of people get into freestyling through Grindin because the beat was so simple. Everybody could have just do the beat on the table and start spitting. Beat was catchy, so men started listening to rap because of Grindin. With me, it was best of both worlds because I like rap and I could freestyle to it. No, they didn't pass me no block E freestyling to that beat. Just trying my best to get off my mediocre bars at that time at 15. Get off whatever bars I could get off at that time. And try my best to song as Pusha T-ish or malicious while spitting it. But again, Malice and Pusha went in when Malice say the third verse. How you start off third verse?
My grandma's about family, never about fame.
Never been about fame. For days where I wasn't able, it was always
keen. Like dog, them 2 bars alone, but
like,
woo.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That had when Pusha come in, I move king like I'm crippled. Kids know me so well, they call me Mr. Sniffles.
Mr. Sniffles, you know. Now I'm talking about they just creating themselves like these legends, like these hood legends, but yeah.
Like everybody just see the last verse and that they went off. They went and shut it down in the last verse. So Grindin will always be top 10 hip hop songs of all time. No disputed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll agree.
Yeah. Top 10. It have tracks them that you can't deny, but
yeah.
You can't.
No, you're right. Yeah. Like, dude, the impact of that song was insane. Yeah.
Yes, and I don't like Sugar Hill Gang, but rappers did like is in the top 10. It did.
It's a song that you know the majority of. So I mean, yeah.
That was it. But this song is up there. Now, the remix with with Nori,
Lil Wayne and
Birdman. First thing, Birdman wasn't supposed to be on that. They gave Birdman ab-liva because Birdman had an album coming out that year.
Which had What Happened to That Boy, which is still one of my favorite songs with clips. So it's just songs, period. I just love that song.
Birdman's best song that he ever recorded in his life.
In his whole life. Yes.
I agree. Like even lyrically, it's his best song, Chad. Yeah.
So Birdman had an album coming out, so he just ended up being on that for promo reasons. Lil Wayne was hot at that time. This was
2002. This was Boys era.
This was the first Carter. This was
before because first Carter was 2004, right? So this was I think it was what 500 degrees.
Yeah, they 500 degrees.
500 degrees.
They 500 degrees.
Yeah. So there's still someone young.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Weezy sound real young in this.
500 degrees. When he did stop writing and stuff.
Right.
So they mixtape Wayne, not drunk Wayne and thing. They like when he started doing dedication, he didn't do dedication 2 yet.
Right.
So
I guess you couldn't care less about Nori, right?
Nah, Nori was big at that time and too. Remember he did drop Grimy and thing. Nothing and thing. That was the album that come out that year 2002 year. So again, they're riding the wave of the popping men. Yeah. But it wasn't that good look.
But Nori was close with Pharrell at that time too, because
he was always close to Pharrell, that producer his first album in '97.
Yeah, Super Tug, right? I think that was the first, right?
Yeah, Super Tug, like the first. Yeah. So he good with them long time. Plus, too, they make Nothing and Grammy nigga.
Yeah.
He was in camp with them basically. Then the Selector remake that was shit. That was the shit. That was the best one. They didn't have to get Pusha T and Malice on it.
Yeah,
Just let them. Yeah, just let them Jamaican them rap. Yeah, just let them Jamaican them do the thing. And
well, Jamaican and a Canadian.
Yeah,
Cardinal.
a Canadian Jamaican descent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right.
So the smash on that, and again, one that needs to be put on audio right now. Again, is that freestyle in the basement with them two men on that rhythm, because they shut it down. That was uber good.
You know, if there was like an official like re-release of this album, they should have squeezed that in, you know.
Yeah.
All right then, Randerson. So your thoughts on Grindin. Well, that and the two remixes.
I'm your pusher.
Yep.
I always remember I started that song. I'm your pusher. Because I remember rapping this song, not knowing what any of the words meant, but I just know the words of the song. From ghetto, backyard, the yard, I sell whipped on whip, it's soft, hot. And this is the thing I was talking about with Pusha T's rhyme scheme. You know, yard hard, I'm neighborhood pusher. They go need to subwoofer because I pump bass like that, Jack. Or I'm off the trap. Like the whole thing was like he'll have like AAs, he'll have ABs, and sometimes he'll just like he'll have the next rhyming word in a mid bar, and just he'll end the bar with a next rhyme, and he could start a whole new rhyme scheme, like just I would say
like with the Benz convoy with the wagon on the side,
like
all the big boys keep deuces on the ride. I know you're talking about,
yeah, because he's always switch it, always like switch it up, and because he puts the he wouldn't just abandon the line, he'll just put it as an internal rhyme, so he could start a whole new rhyme scheme going off. So like if you're working at the technical aspect of how Pusha T like just spit on that was like real great. And then as I say, when like Boss came with the patty cake, like, and as you said, like it's been like real playful on the track. I see that like the whole kind of cockiness about it too. Cause like, well, I think of like that. Anyway, yeah, the whole cockiness, like he came on with the track, like actually like. He actually literally
it's infectious.
Yeah.
You want to be like him.
Excuse me if my well got me for myself cocky something I just can't help.
Yeah. It's infectious. You know, you want to be like him. And that's the point. You want to be like them. That's the point.
One good thing about this dude is like how the whole song structure as well. You know, Pusha get 16, Miles get 16, and then 8. So you had 3 16s. I think that's a good part of work I do, especially when you do it with your brother, so they know well how to work off each other.
What Pusha T says that how at that time two of them hated to write whole songs.
Yeah.
So coming together as a duo was the best choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you like 2 verse now, you take it, I go take it, and we handle that. I think it's how those 8 bars is a stand up by themselves. Like my grandpa's family never about fame. When themselves able there is what is kid. You have that. And the thing is every verse they start off with is a line you remember.
Yes.
Every line they start
I got grind like a cripple, you know?
Yeah.
Like
every line they start off with is something you remember. I think that's the good part of that too, because the beat, the tempo and pace of the beat was enough for them to like see somebody cool shit, and because the beats so infectious, it makes it easy to remember the words of this song. Especially like I said, Grindin is one of these songs like synonymous with Clipse.
Right. And any thoughts on the remixes quickly?
Oh, the remixes, like this is the second one I wasn't too fond of. I did like Nori's part. It's just like the Birdman and Wayne was just there to me. The other one with Sean Paul, I like he grind it, he plays double time in it. Like I just felt like how Sean Paul flowed on that, how Cardinal closed it off. as you went through it, like because I think like that was like the extra seasoning that it was there, but like the whole extra seasoning, the whole this whole Caribbean vibe, especially as it was being pumped out in hip hop during that time, and I find it really mesh well, and it shows you how like I'll say how it adds so much credence to the beat itself that it is a very comfortable beat to rap on because like you get in the mood and it gives you the rhythm. It's difficult to like grab to this and go off beat because the beat servicing words are on it. So yeah, that's what I could close off on saying about the grinding. That hasn't been said yet.
Right. So up next we have Cut Damn, right? Or as we heard it on TV, Hot Damn, right?
It's a new day.
It's a new day. And speaking of this though, this track features one of my favorite like Neptune's Clipse hooks ever, in my opinion, Dread. I think the reason why it works so because it sounds so soulful, but it has this kind of 70s Curtis Mayfield kind of vibe to it, like almost like Pharrell like took like a old Negro spiritual, if you want to use that term, and I kind of adapted it for modern times. It's like, you know what I mean? Hot damn, it's a new day. But in this case, like, yeah, we're going out and making money. That's what it is, right? No matter what, right? And what's so interesting about this song here is like the vast difference between the TV version and the album version. Like literally, like verses are changed up in the TV version. I actually really like the TV version, but the album version will always stand out to me though. Not because they're explicit, but that's because they just tell you so much more, right? Speaking of lyrics though, Malice comes through with one of the best verses of this album. Period on this track though. Like his cockiness turns to aggression in like a matter of seconds though. Like one of my favorite lines is where he says, I understand that the envy is part of the game, but make no mistake, you and I, we are not the same. Nah, bitch, I'm liable to splatter your shit. Light up your world till it start to stagger and shit. Watch how them Hollow Street rattle your shit, and I'll leave you all to freestyle and battle and shit.
Yes.
Dog.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What? Milestone, Jesus Christ, but for me, I do it for us too. Maybe not for you, Doe Boi, right? But for me, this was my introduction to ab-liva, I'll call him that, and Roscoe P. Coltrane. I'm saying not you, Doe Boi, because and they were in the re-up mixtapes, right?
But them was the re-up gang happened after, no?
Or after? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
They my introduction to them too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at that, right? I always like the TV version of ab-liva's verse because he actually referenced what happened to that boy. I hear the beat switch for like a few seconds and then come back, but I love that, right? But here, he delivered a much different verse here, but the final bar is similar, which is the watch the phonies, watch your homies, we drop the homie.
Yeah.
Push's verse is great as well. It's not as aggressive as his brothers, but I always love his opening bars where he says, they call me Pusher for one reason, because I keep that sniff all seasons. Whether the price is up or down, I keep a mount to pitch from. You don't have to shop around. Like, I love that though. But y'all might argue with me with this, but I think the standout in this track though is Roscoe P.
Yeah, Roscoe.
Yes.
First time I heard him on the TV version, right?
Flow that he have.
It was.
Yes, boy. Like, first time I hear him with the TV version, I swear it was like some young Samuel Jackson doing spoken word. But that's the thing, it sounds very spoken word, the way how his bars are structured, but he's rapping it, but it's just so blunt and direct and cold-blooded, right? And it fits the whole, unapologetic, right? It fits the whole song, right?
You will kill how? You trying to kill how?
So I
can see why you guys saying it's spoken word, the way how he's spitting the bars and structuring it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So very poet.
Right. So that's just quoting about some bars here, right? So this is one of my favorite what he says here. Do you want to know the most effective way of getting money? Pull your gun rapidly. And watch, you'll see the situation be corrected. Lord heavens, why must I live so devilish? They say what you do comes back on you 2 times. I should have died. I'm still walking around with 2 nines. Who wants to be a millionaire? Me. And you ain't got no more lifelines. Like just how you just say that so quickness. It's like, jeez, you know what I mean? But yeah, as you could tell, I love this song. This is one of my favorite Clipse songs, period. ab-liva and Roscoe. I just felt like their careers could have blown up even more than they did, but still, they did the damn thing on this. So, but yeah, love this track though, and I could care less about the skit that follows after it on the album version. That's how great the song is, right? Up next is My Don't Love Her, right? This is the third single of the album. This is the one where the beat always stuck to me with the moment I heard, because it's just so smooth and laid back, right? It's a love jam, but it's one you can kind of rock out to, right? And yeah, that beat stuck with you. Like in 2002, that beat stuck with you. That yeah, it stuck with you, right?
Faith on the hook. Ooh.
Yeah. Faith Evans do she thing right. And yeah, I mean the theme of it is simple. Pusher, and to a lesser extent Malice, because once again you only get one verse, which is my one gripe of the album. You only get one damn verse, whatever, right? So Pusher have a new girl, but she pretty much think that he cheating on her with one of his old flames. He's like, no, I don't love her. She's just spreading gossip and trying to tear apart what we have, right? And Pusha so real genuine on this track. I love how he tell her that even though his profession pretty much involved him being around fine women, both the drug and the rap game, he's like, nah, I'm only with you and you alone, right? Faith Evans' hook totally works. I like how both Pusha and Malice get to compliment her on the hook and bridge, right? But really the highlight of the song for me is just the Neptune's production though. It's just so smooth, boy. You know what I mean? And I mean you could come through it with trunk slappers ever so often, right? But it's come through with some real nice, like smooth, breezy joints here, man. So yeah, so that track I really, really like. I don't love it, but it's the one that I really enjoy listening to, right? And I kind of call this a interlude, but this is the FamLay freestyle, right? So basically, FamLay, who is the Star Trek signee, he gets his own track / interlude / whatever to spit some really like dope bars though over a really bounty Neptune speed, right? Not really much I could say about this track, honestly, and I can imagine a lot of people skipping to the next track, but this was fine, man. It's fine for what it is, man. So yeah, Randerson, your thoughts on Cut Damn, My Don't Love Her, and FamLay freestyle?
All right. With Cut Damn, I got introduced it from the radio version, Hot Damn.
Yes, me too.
I actually put me on. Well, I think this was the first time I heard ab-liva, and this guy was, he was incredible. He was incredible. But as Miles started off, and I know you mentioned the you make no mistake, and you and I, we are not the same. My actual favorite line from Malice in that first verse was actually, I got love for guns and cane, let nothing come between us. You must stop me for a rapper, huh? Well, that makes me actors. Because I would rather
clap a gun, boy. That is so cold-blooded shit.
I think, and that going into the whole thing where he's like, y'all can rap battle about it. Like, nah, like, yeah, or you keep it on wax. Well, you have to, or you keep it on wax. Because I feel like get into some, nah, it ain't gonna end too nicely. Let's say, ab-liva, like, imagine this is the first time you're hearing this guy, and it's like, God damn, when that white hits the pan, come back hard, I count for every gram. It's like, everybody, like, on this track, like, really, like, mesh together well. On Roscoe P. Cool J, that flow, that flow different. That flow is different. Because I remember, like, first time hearing it, I was like, every time I think that goes along with how rappers approach Pharrell beats, because there are a lot of people who will get a Pharrell beat and they can't do anything with it, and you think like, because and he goes, it's a new day when the boys want. And Roscoe, when he came out, like I said, I would sound like spoken word, because like he didn't give you a chance like predict any line he might be coming with. Because like anytime you think like he's going one way with it, he just spins it, and like he like has a very like choppy way where he would have his rhyme, break it off mid, pick up the tempo, and just he goes on and on, breaking up at different points, but at no time did it sound out of place.
Correct. Yeah.
So even like it's so unusual, even though it was probably off meter, it didn't sound like, it will sound like it's off meter, but it never sounded like it was off beat, if that makes sense.
Right.
it wasn't on a meter that you would be used to, but it didn't sound offbeat. I think that was like one of the best parts about that song, especially. Um, moving on to Mad with Lover. I love this song.
Yeah, I know you love this song.
I love this song. Like,
I know you love your R&B, yeah?
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody love this shit, though. This is
Uh,
a song I like.
so like, I know how now everybody like have a new wave of this whole toxic R&B. Like, it's all Marcel basically. Hey, don't listen to them. But even if you like, even if you do, you know who I was when you met me.
Yeah. That's
Like
right
basically
there.
like, yeah.
Yo, you know what I forget? Remember in the video, it had two girls fighting. You know that girl, two of them really hit the head for real on the car. Like real talk, they hit the head real hard, dog.
Okay, I did not even know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Watching it, you can see that trend, them ding the car. Somebody got a concussion. Somebody got a concussion, they were.
And I want the funny parts like saying that sheet right maybe with my heat. Like that. How you sleep it under the sheets, the pillows like nah. And like here like that song like I just say flashback into 2022 when Vince Staples have songs like when Sparks Fly. I come back and listen like yo like the I know like a lot of guys like have this whole thing like they didn't real glorify the Gunna as this partner, but like like Treyton on song was supposed to be like like a little
Love
couple
song.
song. Yeah. Like yeah, personal cheating it is my gun. But at the same time I say like but even if I was cheating, what proof they have? Like, yo, you see me like treating her like you? Like I taking you out. You do one I buy stuff for what? That why your friends jealous? Because what else they have to talk about other than us? What else they have going on? Oh, they want to walk on my island in your shoes. Just remember yours is Gucci. Yeah, it's like a real like girl butt up your girl song. Like you know the shit you're doing, but like like you don't wanna apologize, but it just want to make you feel comfortable. Like, that kind of toxic shit. Like, yeah, that I really love that song.
Right.
Yeah,
And family
family.
freestyle.
Well, this gonna be really short. I loved how short this was, cause like it was real concise. It didn't overstay its welcome. Like it just like first family just came on, it did stuff. Verses were great, and then Pharrell just closed off a little like melodies and yeah, like not much to say, but 'cause I don't really know the details in behind like the history of family. But one was like he came on this that a solid verse exit and like it didn't feel out of place from the album. So like
Yeah,
I really
agreed.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Doe Boi, your thoughts on Cut Dam, My Doe Lover, and Family Freestyle.
Well, I heard Cut Down first because again we had the album.
Right,
We
right.
had the album, so
Wait, you talk about the TV version, at least the Hot Damn.
I didn't like it because I
Okay.
heard the original.
Oh, you heard you heard the original
yeah, I heard
first.
the original.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I didn't
Right.
like it. But see, like how they had the what happened to that boy piece with ab-liva and thing.
Yeah.
I find that was cool. But the switch up from the original to that one, I didn't like. Ab-liva, he's still rocking with Pusha.
Nice.
Still around. Now if he into that rapping thing still, but he around.
That's what I want to know. Yeah.
Still around. Roscoe P doing time.
Oh shit.
He doing
Oh,
time.
okay,
So,
that explains it. Right.
He doing time. But I don't like he flow. Even this and the track that coming up later, I don't real like the flow. Because it was real unique. Unique.
Like I say, it's sort of a spoken wordish kind of way, yeah.
He ain't trying to flow on the beat. It's something like he talking, but it rapping. yeah. But no, that was a cool track. I Don't Love Her. that was a relaxed time on the album. It was the sit down, yeah, enough of this drugs and shooting shit. Relax, get our thoughts together,
Mm-hmm.
and prepare for the later half. FamLay freestyle. Well, I actually like FamLay. The freestyle was just a highlight for he because he was coming out later on.
Right.
And for me take a while to come out because I think when Slim Tug come out, he come out.
Okay.
And Slim, he had the hit me on my people, hit me on my beeper.
Right.
And he had that, so when he jumped back again, that was he. In them days, them rap, that was your intro to everybody. Now put you on somebody's album, spitting some shits, and you get some shine there.
Yeah, that's I get that much from it. That's why I can't really complain about the track too much. It is what it is.
Yeah, you had to get that. In them days, that was the shit. So you had to get that.
Yeah. Right. Up next we have When the Last Time, right? And for me, many a Saturday was spent bumping the song or watching this video on BT or MTV, right? This is a pure unfiltered club song from the Bounty production at and you hear that, you know what I mean? To Clipse's teams. They're just pretty much talking about getting drunk, hooking up with chicks, dropping them off, and hooking up with more chicks and so on and so forth, right? Even
life.
if you're not
the
club life. One of the reasons I love life, right? As Pusha says, right?
Pusha line, yeah.
Yeah, even if you're not in the club scene, I mean, you will still find yourself entertained by this, right? And you can tell everybody had fun in this, though. Whether it's the Clipse themselves, whether it's Pharrell who does some rapping and some old school MCing throughout the song, or even Kellis who does some la 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 la. You know what I mean? It doing the bridge, right? And lastly, right, it took me real long to understand Pusha's final bars on his second and final verse, right? But Genius explained to me, and I won't lie, there's some smart ass bars though. So he says, S&M chick asked Pusha to choke her, but I thought about how rich I am and said, no sir. Chick was crazy, gave her crazy space. What did it? The whip appeal or my baby face? Get it? Because Babyface had a song called Whip Appeal from the early 90s. Kids ask their parents. Again, that's some smart ass bars. That real smart though. Yeah. But yeah, dope song. Perfect choice to have it be a single. Perfect choice, right? Up next, we have Ego, which is pretty much a short and sweet reminder by Clipse and Pharrell to never let your ego get the best of you, or else you will get shot.
Get your ass. Everybody could have flown the blast. Well, if they do, that's your ass, my man. I love that song.
I just love that. That's your ass, my man. I think the one I think about is like a reference to Friday with Spoon. It's your ass, Mr. Postman. You know what I mean? That's but yeah, the beat is bouncy enough to keep your head nodding, and I really like dug the synth like horns that appear throughout it, right? Clipse just being braggadocious and cold-blooded, but they have like this real twisted sense of humor to the past. So it's like they almost like more or less welcoming someone to step out a line, start some shit with them, and then you could get to them, right? But yeah, this was a real entertaining track for me, boy. I won't lie, right? And up next we have Comedy Central, and this is where they actually collaborate with Fabulous. I mean, at the time he was huge in the early 2000s. He was huge, right?
Yeah.
The production in this though has this real 70s funk vibe to it though, with a real thick bass line, right? Clipse and company just keep things simple. Just rap about the wealth they have acquired in both the rap and drug games, but most importantly, they stress on the fact that they're the real deal. There's nothing fake about them, right? And yeah, I mean, this was just a dope track overall, and it was really cool. Like even back then, hearing it now, hearing a man like Fabulous Jet rap alongside Pusha and Malice Jet, you know. All right, so yeah, that beat. All right, so Doe, your thoughts on When the Last Time, Ego, and Comedy Central?
Okay, When the Last Time, again, that was on BT, so it was on rotation. We all know it. Nothing else to say about it. It was a cool club song. Yeah, it was a cool club song. Never heard it in the club here. Trinidad DJs was on shit in those days. Wasn't getting, wasn't getting that. But more or less, it was a cool club song.
Right.
Ego. Well, they were rapping the hooks. You know,
Yes.
I like it. You know, I like it. That was just some good ass gunplay talk. Because like Pusha was like, they talking like they want a piece, and then I respond in 4 words. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Yeah. It's just nice gunplay with wordsmithing.
Yeah.
Comedy Central is, well, Fab did come out in 2001.
But Can't Deny It, right? That was the first single he came out with.
No, well, he album Get to Fabulous.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I wasn't big on the Fab wave.
Okay, but Can't Deny It was all over the place, boy. And heavy on BT too. Them
And
beat
Youngin.
that song to the ground, boy.
And
Yes,
Youngin
and
had
Youngin.
one.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't on the wave. Now, when I started seeing him on places like Rap City and thing, after the song, because again the song made me realize like dude have bars. And then seeing him on Rap City, I realized like, yo, dude could go in and just this Ichiaya dude there. So when they call me, please believe me, please put the pump to your chest and let you breathe with ease. I'm like, whoa, Fab.
I know, right?
Whoa, Fab.
I hear that again, but I was like, Jesus. Wow, Jet. Fab?
Yeah, whoa, Fab. All right. I will go and check out your Street Dreams album, bro, if that's what you bringing. So, again, that was a good mix-up for them. That was a good feature, and it didn't disappoint.
Right. All right, Randerson, your thoughts on when the last time Ego and Comedy Central?
All right. Yeah. Well, like Doe Boi said, there's some heavy rotation on BT. It's like this song, like, I would be one of the, like, Grindin, one of the singles that people knew from Clipse. And I thought this song was like just the epitome of this coolness. And fuck, I know it was a beat. When the last time you heard like this?
Yeah, that
yeah.
Yeah, it's all about that, dude. It always click with you, yeah.
And if you know you laugh from the club to the parking lot, how many chicks
can you
fit
in that ride? Put them
up on me. Get down.
Yeah.
And that's how. Get down.
Yeah, get down.
Yeah. Pharrell's know when to like throw any sample and when to sing on it. Because I think is this why it had the Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek.
Yeah, that you started off with that.
Yeah. Yeah, like even push a top down cross spinning. Yeah, you see the boss grinding. I love his lovely moment. Push, I think like Grindin because of how the beat was. Get down. It was next week. Like this is like YE songs that really like became an heirloom. Like as soon as I hear the beat, you know what was coming.
Yes,
because like I think like how Pharrell produced it and even how like Miles and Push rapped on it. It's like it made it like I think they still go for like most of their songs, especially the singles. Like they knew how to make it. Like during that time they know like what the heirlooms would be. I think that would be what Pharrell working with different artists during that time. Especially because a lot of GD songs I remember were that like the ones that got a lot of radio play were the ones with Neptune's production. So that goes to show like as Pharrell and Chad User as producers, like they knew what they were doing from even though during that time I would say they were still experimenting as well. because you could see later down in Health and Fury, like the amount of improvement that went into the whole production with these guys that they are familiar with, and they know they had good chemistry with Pusha and Mars. So when last time hit, I don't think there's much I could add to what you already said, because like the song is well known and it's very popular. Now, going on to Ego, a song that I would say will still hold nostalgia. I say age-wise, I would say this is probably the only song in the entire project that probably will stumble a little bit in the aging process. But I'll say within experimenting, yeah, because there's a tuba, a kind of tuba instrumental that
Yeah.
that's coming. That's the only thing like actually didn't like about the beat. I think like they tried. I don't know if he tried to replace like probably a bass it with the bass from the tuba.
I saw Tutsin.
Oh, but I think that was the only part of the beat like I wasn't really probably meshing with because like it was distracting like from other other stuff. But like the hook and the verses, yeah, like solid. Like I said, like, you can't really get a bad verse from either of these guys. So I wouldn't dwell too much on that. But Comedy Central, yo. This I think was one of my personal favorites to actually go back to on this project because, like, do I say like when I heard Andy when I heard Fabulous on this, I was like, yo. I honestly didn't because during that time I only knew the Hellback Youngin and the feature he had a little more. I wasn't really checking for Fab like that. But yeah, this verse here, yeah, they call me Mister. Please believe it, please. I promise. I pop in your mouth and help you breathe with ease. This guy is in a hurry. Man, can't even fuck with you. If you're in the itinerary, I like yeah, Fab going through. I think Fab had the standout verse on this track.
Hmm.
And had Pusha T close it off. Then you had the skit at the end, which I have no idea like where that really came from. So I was actually lost at that point. But
That's why I didn't even bring it up to begin with.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this. But Comedy Central, like this has been one of my favorite tracks to actually go back into from this whole entire project.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we get the last three tracks, right? So we kick things off with Let's Talk About It, right? Which is a song I honestly forgot was on this album, right? But this features So Def's own Jermaine Dupri, right? The beat is solid for the most part, right? It has these chirpy flute-like sound effects, like pepper throated, right? And Clipse and Dupri make the most out of its 5-minute runtime, right? Compared to like When You Last Time, this is like a way more raunchier club song in my opinion. Pusha on his verse talk about bringing a girl and a balcony to have sex with, only to have the girl to bring another girl, and then things happen, right? And it's even more. I would say just as even if not more braggadocious as When You Last Time, right? Jermaine brags about still spending that crisscross cream, right? I was like, wow, like you see that, right? But yeah, this is a solid track though. But I still prefer When You Last Time in terms of like just club bangers. But this one was fine, right? Up next we have Gangsta Lean, right? And with this track alone, boy, you could see why Snoop Dogg have such great chemistry with the Neptunes, boy. The vibe of this song is so G-Funk inspired, but it has a Neptune's twist to it, right? And it's funky because, Pharrell's vocal delivery on this hook is clearly inspired by people like Charlie Wilson, George Clinton, folks like that now. And the song seems pretty much just love letter to weed, right? But that's a very like West Coast thing, right? Like this thing about weed, right? But I don't know. I just feel like behind the scenes, Snoop probably listened to this song like, shit, I should be on this track though. But yeah, Snoop would have blessed this song. He would have blessed this song real good, you know what I mean? But yeah, Push and Malice do their thing. They have some great verses, talk about his love for this Jamaican woman. But I don't know, for me, I think Pharrell steals the show with that hook and he's singing. It's something about how
He's singing.
Yeah, boy, some of what he does there totally works. But he get real soulful on that. But he get real soulful on that.
Took off
Um,
of a stage drunk. I go crazy, girl. Yeah, you get real into like
yeah, boy.
RB do this.
Yeah. But yeah, this shit actually worked, though, in my opinion, though, and it helps him bringing the album to a close, right? And now we get to the final track, "I'm Not You," right? So here's the thing: don't let the hand claps, the synths, the bouncy drum beat, or even the steel pan fool you, right? They end Clipse end things off on a bleak note here, right? And they team up with Jadakiss, Styles P. It's a shame they couldn't get Chic Luke on this, but whatever. And Roscoe P. Coltrane was, I was real glad to see him on another track here, right? So it's just those, five, right? And pretty much just rapping about, well, the downs, not so much the ups, but the downs of being a hustler, right? Even Jadakiss and Styles P don't even sound like happy on this, too. They're just like,
but everybody sung sad on that track.
yeah, boy, just like shit, like this is how it is, boy. Like we in it, we in too deep now. I mean, Styles P and Jadakiss, shit. I mean, like even them don't even sound like happy on this way, right? But everybody sticks to the script. Everybody just more or less talk about just the dark side of drug dealing, right? And then a PSA kind of way, but more like, we're in it. This is what we do. This is why we do it, and this is why we're still in it, right? Malice, in my opinion, end this song brilliantly, boy. With this, it's both self-aware and self-deprecating at the same time. Now he talk about how his profession affected many people in the streets, right? So he says, "It shames me to no end to feed poison to those who could very well be my kin. But where there's demand, someone will supply. So I feed them their needs at the same time, cry. Yes, it pains me to see them need this. All of them lost souls, and I'm their Jesus. Deepest regret and sympathy to the streets. I see them pay for the fix when the kids could eat. And with this in mind, I still did quit. And that's how I know that I ain't shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like, wow, boy, that's a gut punch, mate. And then my heart bleed, but that's aside from the fact I live for my kids and theirs and their youngins after that. And that's it. That's the full stop right there, boy. I won't lie, Malice end this song. He end the album off like perfectly, in my opinion, Dread. So yeah, to me, this was a highlight, but really a great way to end this album off, boy. So Doe Boi, your thoughts on the last three tracks? Let's talk about it. Gangsta and I'm Not You.
One I just skip. Let's talk about it. So I skipped it one.
Yo, I don't believe. I being charitable did. That's why I kept comparing it to when's the last time. It's a club song. That's what it is.
I skipped it that one time. I don't know why that's on the album, but I just skip it, so I skip it.
Oh, and it's funny you bring that up too, because it's only like just the other day I realized this was also on Jermaine Dupri's album, which I didn't even know existed.
Album because
on Spotify it's credited to Jermaine Dupri's album.
Yeah,
right.
Because on the Clipse album it have Jermaine Dupri featuring Clipse.
Yeah.
It's his track. They didn't have to put that
He get one verse and he didn't even produce nothing. So why is Jermaine Dupri featuring the Clipse? But whatever. I don't care.
I think.
Yeah. I skipped that.
Right.
Gangsta Lean is one of my favorite tracks. The and again, not so much that how Pusha and them rapping, see Pharrell singing is what has made me give me that soul.
Yeah.
So damn.
I feel in retrospect like Snoop probably heard this song and say, yo, let me do Rhythm and Gangsta. I want you a Rhythm and Gangsta. Let me work together on that, because I want you to bring that. I want you to channel that soul out of me or something.
I want that funkiness, because I tell you, just straight up soul and funk Pharrell was on. And
yeah.
He belting out them notes, them like if he's supposed to have on a Crush Velvet shirt. When we went up on stage, I like it. And well, the metaphor that they have for weed being this lady that they trying to pursue, love it. And well, no, I'm not you. I'm not you, rapper. I'm not you. Just the way how Pusha start talking like that, you know it like, yo, There's gotta be something. So it Pusha went in, Styles and all went in, Jada went in, but Roscoe P and Malice.
Yeah, boy.
Them was the
Yeah,
two
boy.
standing out. And see how you code that whole thing, and I was rapping it along with you because like that one of the verses them that stick out with me every day, and like it's so rare you could hear somebody reflect on themselves like, yo, I'm a piece of shit for selling this song.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit for selling this shit. Like I am a bad person. And
Yeah, that's what Malice said. I'm a bad
basically,
person.
I'm a bad person. I right now I don't like me. Basically, how Malice played it across now, you get it like, yo,
Yeah.
I don't like me. I'm not a nice guy. If I didn't have to be around me most of the time, I would not be around me because I do bad things. So just the way how you bring it across, and then well, Ablav, Roscoe
Roscoe.
P, yeah, Roscoe P Cold Chain flow really suit this beat because he was in and out of the beat. So you're hearing him like you say you're a killer, but a killer how, and just Cold Chain let that nigga stank it, and he just like we kind of wiggling through the pan and thing, so like. And again, he went in on that. Again, Styles and Kiss and Pusha, them do the thing, but things stand out. Malice,
Roscoe and Malice.
Roscoe and Malice, there, them stand out.
Agreed. Yeah. All right. So Randerson, to close things off, let's talk about it. Gangsta and I'm Not You.
I think it's I went in to let's talk about it for what it was the club song, and it was a Jermaine Dupri song. Despite like most of it was structure was Jermaine Dupri on the hook, catchy hook. During that time, it's what you expected most of Jermaine Dupri hooks to be like. So yeah, but I think this funny commentary I got me. Back then, this verse, Jermaine Dupri's verse, would just be like, oh, okay, he did that. If I compare Jermaine Dupri's verse today to like anything else that's I could say on a hit level, like this could be considered lyrical compared to stuff that I can't call any rappers names, but anyway.
So it's lackluster then.
Yeah. During this time, I feel like during this time, or even by comparison, you're on track with Push and Malice, and those guys. I think like one of my favorite line was actually came from Malice. It's like, what? For we compare people, get your weight up. I need more points than that. Don't flirt me, Jacob. It's like threatening Jacob Jewelers.
Yeah.
Like you see me on my back, or you see me live. I'm every color of the spectrum, like Roy G. Biv. I tell anybody else for a sad line, I might like watch it funny, but I just felt like it's real funny, like hearing like Malice say this, because he's saying it plainly, like it's like it's a club track, like it's a bar, but it's just something just playing. It's like I think these guys was just having fun on this track. Gangsta, I've nothing like that at all. Like do I think like this was one of the smoothest songs on the album. Sit back, relax, West Coast vibe, and I sure this was probably tailored for Snoop. I sure Pharrell probably tried to get Snoop on this song, and it probably just didn't work out. But I'm pretty sure.
Remember, they did Beautiful a year before, right? Yeah.
Beautiful was I think 2000, 2001.
I think it was 2001. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So
that was on this.
Oh gosh.
Pay the cost to be the boss.
Yeah, pay the cost to be the boss. Yeah. Yeah, like they've worked together before though, so that's why like when you hear Gangsta, you're like, wait now, why Snoop doing this? Like he would have made a great like collab on this track though, like for real, because I mean it's about weed, right? So I mean, why not? But yeah, continue.
Yeah. I think like when I like now going to each track, like I thought like wait, now who's this girl singing about? And until like I got hugged with my Jamaican sexy every day like a holiday. The Chiba got me like oh that's what his song was about. It took me a while. It took me a while until like coming out like I think when the hook coming in like I think that song that verse is about weed. Until I hear like the second verse, I think this song is about weed.
Yeah. Nah, they do that real good though. I will lie though, you know? Yeah.
A real like the sex so sticky. I'm talking real icky. Yeah, sticky icky. Yeah. Yeah, this very solid song. One that easily make up late evening playlist for when y'all get seasoned. So like yeah, that was an next standout track, but I would say that I Am Not You with Jada and Styles and Roscoe was like, yeah, we are rappers, but we aren't rappers. That's basically what he's saying. Like, right I told you I live this shit. I ain't here just rapping and tapping, like spitting and skitting. Going back to what he said before about I think it was on Marx's verse like was a rapper like no that makes me an actor like yeah this song actually encompasses all that. Gosh, I have first I wanted to because something he was talking about I think it was Pusha T where he's talking about the Mr. Stifles part had a next part from Malice. No, from I think it's from Push Self that he said it's tied back into Push It Malice's verse on I Pray For You. Where he said open up your nose like I was cutting it with Vicks. I think it was on this song right when Push T said whether a bitch hop out or the Glock pop out, you know what I'm about, blow clear sinus till the snot drop out.
Oh, okay. I see where you get at. Yeah. That robot.
I think I can't remember what other song, but I think I probably missed this song before, but on some other song where he's talking about he died cook, because I remember like even
I think it's on Hell Had No Fury. Pusha did he did the Diet Coke reference there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, going on to this, Jadakiss sounded really young on this, but yeah, Jadakiss has great with what I said, birds fly soft. What the damn like right here. If I don't like, and if I don't like you, the gram side, the whole it's like I think the whole thing was about just chopping, and I think like was give this like a lot of credibility. It's like and like how Benny and those guys they'll tell you like, yeah, we could glamorize this, but we know about the downsides. And with Roscoe, I think something. Roscoe's closing verse, well, how he close out his verse, your coffins, your cradle, you can't bite the hand that made you. That's the beginning of the end, and you talk that friend called Cold Chain Super Nigga got X-ray vision. I see through men and speech triggered with bullets that go through men. Like yeah. Like I think this is like the coolest track. Even though Virginia had like I'll say the cooler beat. I think the bars on this track were actually like the more vicious ones. Yeah.
I'd agree with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, deepest regret and sympathy to the streets. Yeah, I think you brought up that before Mars. Yeah, Mars close off which was like really. I think was on. I can't remember what song on Almost Dry where Pusher. So like, yeah, even if she pregnant, still serving the fiend, he had to get the money. Yeah,
I forgot what song that from in, but I know you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. Cause like, as I was saying, as well as that, it's almost right. I had a lot of callbacks to this album, this Willin album, in different places. So like I said, I'm not you. It's basically the song telling said like, yeah, we know you guys are just rappers. You're just singing about it, and like that's why everybody had the same recycled bars about, we get off the boat, and I think it's so funny. Like um, you're like no, we're not on the same boat. I move coke.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a really, I say the most solid songs are great closer. That's why I'm glad we talked about the grinding before, because I'll compare like the close off to this album with Miles having the one of the toughest closing verses to It's Almost Dry, where Miles had the last verse of the album and was
Yeah.
such a potent verse.
Yes. Yes.
So, I think that's why I think that's why people are so feeling for Miles and like Pusha come back to do our Clipse album. If they could get like the full Neptune's production as well, it would be great. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what I've done.
All right. All right.
All in all, great song, great project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and I do agree with you, man. This is a great project. And I really had a blast revisiting this. I really haven't listened to this in a long while though, so I was just reminded of like great tracks like like Gangsta and Virginia and stuff like that, and even Young Boy and all too, right? But yeah,
mm,
man, this is just a testament to how great Clipse was though, because yeah, I mean, just because of what went down behind the scenes with exclusive audio footage, they would have just been, oh yeah, this just these brothers who spit these coke raps, right? But nah, they got another chance to, Pharrell really believed in them, and like, yo, let me just put this, let me just like really like craft a great album, and that's exactly what they did, man. I mean, Grindin is still one of the greatest songs ever made, regardless of genre, in my opinion. And this was all for this album here too, you know what I mean? And I mean, this was our official introduction to this duo here, right? And what they were just able to do, you know what I mean, throughout the course of their career, and still are right now, right? I do think that we're gonna get another Clipse album in the near future. I think all they just have to do is just get the Neptune's one, but get Kanye as well too on it. Well, I mean, provided Kanye get his shit together, right? But that's all I'll say, right? Yeah, if only, right? But yeah, I think they have it in them to just do another Clipse album, man, for real, right? But yeah, from top to bottom, Pusha and Malice do the damn thing. The Neptunes do the damn thing. Subject matter, was on point. The lyrics hit. Production slaps for the most part. The collabs work. Yeah, just everybody just came through and do their thing, man. So not much more I could say about Lord Willin. This is a classic, right? Even though I do have Hell Hat No Fury over this. This one comes second place, man. So for me, I'm gonna give this. I know it's a classic, but in the interest of this show here, I'm gonna rate it, right? So, strong 4. I like 4.5 out of 5, man. If you have not checked out this album in a long while, give it a listen. If you never checked it out, please do. Okay, yeah, this album, 20 years, since its release, still holds up, man, for the most part. I do believe that
yeah,
it will hold up 20 years from now. Imagine 20 years from now, people still banging the grinding instrumental onto wooden wooden tables and whatnot. So imagine that. Imagine 20 years from now, people still doing that, right?
yeah.
So yeah, that's all I have to say. Doe Boi, final thoughts, and if you want to rate this album.
Yeah. This album was like, I feel like this always happening to duos in hip hop, where the first album mm, they never get a chance to really do what they wanted to do. Or it just never came out the way that they wanted it to come out, or it never came out. Juvenile Hell from Up Deep fall into that bracket.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Um,
Yeah.
and So with exclusive audio, that album, how that never got released because they did the album and gave it to the label, and the label ended up dropping Clipse. And Pharrell like, yo, we're going to make this happen. Got rid of some of the tracks them. One of the tracks them on it, the game end up being Knock Yourself Out for Jadakiss.
Yeah. Good thing about that. I thought it was so funny that the first track, the first song actually offer that exclusive audio footage is the same beat that Jadakiss used for Knock Yourself Out. That was a version of it actually. I thought that was like real interesting. Yeah.
So they end up just shelving that and working on this for basically, I think 4 years they was working on that because the album was supposed to come out in 98. So they work on that for a while and they end up hitting it out the park with it. Rating this album is a good album, a real good album, but Jermaine Dupri track didn't need to be on it. So
true that.
4.5 out of 5.
All right, 4.5 out of 5. Nice.
Yeah, it had 2 booty tracks on it. Didn't need it. Didn't need them 2 booty.
Look, I be real charitable to that Dupree track. I be real charitable, but I know what you mean. Yeah. All right, and Randerson, just to close things off, your final thoughts and rating on Lord Willin.
All right, I would say from start to finish, I'll say sonically this album still holds up, which goes to show how versatile and how I'll say innovative Pharrell was at the time, because the type of beats he was making, even for the time when he was making, was so different compared to how the sound was at during the early 2000s, where again other people doing heavy 808s whatnot coming in, or they say a lot of keys or whatnot you hear from like probably Scott Storch or those guys, but like Pharrell just had a way that he knew how to find a bounce and a sample and how to use his voice to make the sample work for him as well. Especially how he knows how to layer his tracks. And even so, like I said, even with Ego, where it had the tuba instrumental that Doe Boi said, he said that I wasn't really too fond of, but the whole fact that he tried something different, some unusual sound that he wasn't hearing anywhere else, because there are times it hit, at sometimes it missed, and probably during the time that it came out, that was probably a very listenable track. But as our ears to music changes a long time, where certain songs will hold just for nostalgia value, I'd say still on production value, any of these beats could come out today and they will sound brand new. So, shout out to Hugo and Pharrell, like they really, even though they were already known for making good beats, the whole fact that they did this for the entire album and every beat, even the one for Jermaine Dupri, every beat was solid. There wasn't really so much I could say that there was a beat that just fell flat. As far as the rapping goes, it's like the vocals for Pusha, I wouldn't say Pusha's like rap style, even though like it has changed since then, but classic Push, classic Malice. I think the only difference now is the Pusha has more text in his voice now, but his writing style was great. I wouldn't say unique, but you could tell over time how it evolved. So even at this time, you'll say this is early Pusha. He already had a great flow, and knowing that the type of music he does now, so going back and listening to this, it's really good to know, like he could still do this type of rap, this type of meter, change up his meters, knows how to write different types of beats, Because not all, I'll say not all of the songs he did the same thing on, but you know, with different beats, they try different things. And I'd say Malice pen game, which I think this is what people are debating who had the better pen game. But it's so during this time, people have argued it was Malice, but Push is still holds so because you could never say um it's I'll say I won't say never. It's difficult to say
Who is
a
better? Yeah.
yeah push wash things like there certain tracks one might sound cooler on the track than the other, but all the bars are still there. The I'll say the coolness, the uniqueness. They knew how to make something that sound sonically pleasing to the ear. So I'd say on a whole, this was a very great project, solid project. And like Doe Boi, there are two songs. Like I said, I don't really hate the grinding thing. I don't hate these songs. It just because I understand what they were, so I just accept them as that. And that is a great project. And I advise anybody who have never heard Clipse together before to listen to this project because there's a great introduction to even like if you never listened to Pusha's music before, there's a great introduction to those guys.
Agreed. All right, so Randerson, Doe Boi, thanks so much for coming through, man. It was a blast talking about this great album. We could still hope that that one day Clipse will just return with their fourth album, right? I don't know what the future will be for them now.
He had that itch, but he getting that itch.
I know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just off that verse, off of I Pray For You, man. I mean, whoa, right? But yeah, I don't know if that'll be the last or because I really don't want Till the Casket Drop to be the last thing that they ever do, man. You know what I mean?
I feel them don't want that to be the last album.
I guess in due time you will see what they put out next though. But we will be definitely looking out to see what they do next, whether it's Malice or whether it's Pusha T, man. And yeah, that's all I have to say, man. So again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever this is. This was Matt Bailey and Doe Boi. Thanks again for coming through.
No problem.
Randerson, thanks again for coming through.
Anytime.
And this has been another episode of Retrospect Review. So until the next one, take care. Until that next Clipse album comes out, yeah, man, we'll be there. Peace.